Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? It's your boy MegaLugia here, aka The Chosen One, and today we're going to be looking at a series of mini competitive guides for Sun and Moon, this time focusing on the fire starter INCINEROAR. We'll be looking at its movesets, typings, damage calcs, team options, and more. Now in these beginning stages of the meta, these movesets are going to be works in progress, so take these as version 1.0, really solid but will have some room for improvement. So if there's anything you want to add, let me know down below, subscribe for more Sun and Moon, and without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off with the basics. First of all, INCINEROAR is my favorite of the three starters, but unfortunately they did not do my boy any favors, but more into that later. So firstly, it's a fire dark type. The only fire dark we've had so far is Houndoom, so unique typing is awesome to see, especially when that combination is extremely powerful, only being resisted by mons like, oh of course, Primarina. But having said that, it is weak to fighting, ground, rock, and water. Bug and Fairy are now neutral thanks to the fire typing. However, offensively it is effective against Steel, Ice, Grass, Bug, Ghost, and Psychic, so as you can see it definitely has some weaknesses, but can smack around a lot of other Pokemon as well. As for its first ability being Blaze, it boosts the power of fire type moves by 50% when at 1/3 HP or less. Its hidden ability though is Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's attack by 1 stage when it enters. That's a pretty fitting ability for INCINEROAR and now allows it to take some hits whilst it potentially sets up as well. So now we take a look at the stats. So starters have stats total around the 530 mark, so that ends up rounding out to 95 HP, 115 attack, 90 defense, 80 special attack, 90 special defense, and 60 speed. So first impressions are that INCINEROAR is looking like a very well-rounded Pokemon, very similar to the 4th gen starter Emboar. Although its attack is lower than Emboar, there are some factors that make up for that, but we'll get more into that later on. But moving on, 95 HP and 90 on both the defenses paired with 115 attack are great for a hard-hitting offensive tank, especially when in combination with Intimidate. 80 special attack is usable too, but the only downside is the 60 speed, but I think it's going to be much more of a wall breaker than a sweeper if anything. So now for a basic overview as well. So unfortunately the one thing that this Pokemon lacks is priority. You would think that a dark type wrestler would learn Sucker Punch, but oh no, it does not, so that is a bummer, but it does make up for that with a few other things. So INCINEROAR has access to Nasty Plot and Swords Dance. Like I said before, this is what it has over Emboar. INCINEROAR has the potential to be a deadly wall breaker since its good bulk will allow it to live a hit and now can get up to +2 and just basically wreck house. It has great coverage both special and physical with Fire Blast, Flare Blitz, Crunch, Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, and Earthquake, as well as Bulk Up, Will-O-Wisp, and incredibly U-Turn as well. Adding to that, it has 2 new moves. The first is Darkest Lariat, which is Dark type, physical 85 base power with a secondary effect that ignores the stat boost of your opponent. So a pretty cool move which could come into clutch versus another Pokemon that had its defenses boosted, but INCINEROAR just goes right through that. Its second new move is Throat Chop. Yes, it is called Throat Chop, but it gets better. It is a dark type physical move with 80 base power, but prevents the use of sound based moves. So other than the fact that he literally rips out your vocal cords, this comes into play versus Pokemon like Sylveon, Mega Gardevoir, and Primarina. You use Throat Chop on them and now they cannot use Hyper Voice against you, making them much less effective. And one more thing to consider is that we do have Z moves this generation, so if you aren't familiar with them, they're basically extremely powerful moves that can be only used once per battle by a Pokemon. And certain Pokemon also have access to exclusive Z moves, as is the case with INCINEROAR, who has Malicious Moonsault. That move is 180 base power, physical, and dark type. So other than this move being extremely savage, it does have its limitations like a one-time use and an item slot that is taken up. So for all upcoming movesets, you can decide if you want to swap things around and include its Z move, as it is very experimental right now with a new mechanic. So now on to the first potential moveset. We could see a setup set to begin with. The moves are going to be Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, Throat Chop or Darkest Lariat, and Earthquake. It's going to be holding a Life Orb with an Adamant nature, pretty much max speed because you could tailor it to outspeed other invested faster mons like uninvested Heatran, but you're so slow as it is and the other mons just have invested a little bit, so it's not worth saving those few points since you already have decent bulk to support you. Every Pokemon in the OU tier takes at least neutral damage from these moves, and at +2, very few things are living even on a resisted hit. However, you do need to watch out for some priority moves like Aqua Jet Azumarill, but you can take Ice Shards from Weavile and Sucker Punches from Bisharp. So the next set is going to be a bit more interesting, still a setup Pokemon but with a twist. So it'll be holding the Leftovers and rocking Bulk Up, Darkest Lariat, Flare Blitz or Fire Punch, and either Will-O-Wisp or Leech Life. Now once you've gotten rid of Incineroar's checks, you can proceed to set up with boosting your defenses and attack. Use Darkest Lariat so other Pokemon can't set up alongside you and ignore your stats. And the option for the last move is Leech Life, well because 1, Incineroar does not have access to Drain Punch unfortunately, and 2, Leech Life has been buffed this generation to 80 base power and is still bug type but still recovers you HP. So it definitely could be used to handle mons like Tyranitar who otherwise resist both your other stabs. And the speed is also there to speed creep a speed creeping Clefable. You could also choose to go with a moveset like this, basically slapping on an Assault Vest to handle special attackers like Latios, Serperior, Megazard Y, and Mega Venusaur, and then threaten them back with your stab moves. Moves will be Flare Blitz, Darkest Lariat, or Throat Chop from mons like Mega Gardevoir, Earthquake, or Cross Chop, and U-Turn for momentum. And now onto some quick damage calcs. A max attack Life Orb Flare Blitz 2-hit KOs one of the bulkiest mons, a max defense Mega Venusaur, 2-hit KOs Clefable and Gliscor as well. A max attack Darkest Lariat can 2-hit KO Rotom after Stealth Rocks, defensive Heatran, and a chance to OHKO a Mega Metagross. With an Assault Vest, 2 Draco Meteors from Latios cannot 2-hit KO you after the special attack drop. A +6 Superior does max 65% and Mega Gardevoir's Hyper Voice is not even a 2-hit KO. A Malicious Moonsault but without an item remember does OHKO Pokemon like max defensive Jirachi, but does around 55% to a Skarmory, 50% to a Hippowdon, and 55% to a Gliscor, so they definitely don't seem as broken as they may once appear. For some good team options, you're going to need a way to handle some bulky water, so a fast electric type with Volt Switch like Raikou or Thundurus could work, as well as providing Thunder Wave support. Combining U-Turn from Incineroar and Volt Switches will also keep up the momentum on your side. You're also weak to Stealth Rock, so Latios is a good option as well as resisting water and your fighting type weakness. Some good special setup sweepers to handle the likes of Rotom and Hippowdon would work, so Superior is a great addition. And finally, Bandit Azumarill would come in clutch because of his priority Aqua Jet to handle mons like Tyranitar. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a competitive analysis and moveset for Incineroar. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did. And like I said, these movesets are very experimental right now in the early stages of the meta. So if there's anything you want to add, make sure to let me know down below. And the main point is to go out and have some fun with these movesets. But until next time, subscribe if you're new. And it's been your boy MegaLugia here checking out. Peace!